We are here for the Workday Charity Classic. All of this to support Eat, Learn, Play, a foundation that you started to help unlock the potential of every child. And I know that you both are really personally involved. You go out and work in the community. From what you've seen, pre and post pandemic, how is it taking a toll on kids out there, taking a toll on their development?
I mean, the pillars that we've identified in our foundation to create that well-rounded experience and, like you said, unlock the potential for them. The pandemic only, increased that need exponentially, and it's sad to think about knowing how many meals we've been able to distribute since April of 2020. Had we not been capable of springing into action and aligning with the partners that we did, and that we're over 17 million meals to date. It's alarming to think about, but it's also awesome to know that we've figured out a way to be efficient and to support the community that needs it, and opportunities like this to continue to raise awareness and raise money and stay on that mission is important, because the pandemic those effects are going to continue to last for a while, and so we're trying to do our part.
Yeah, and a bigger effect that maybe isn't in the forefront of people's minds now as we're entering this new school year is literacy. So this is a new pillar that we're unlocking when it comes to our Learn pillar, and especially in the Oakland community, 19% of Black students and 24% of Latinx students are reading at grade level, and that's it. And so for us, going with that gap year, I'll call it, that we all had, making sure that the kids are, building upon those literacy skills, and we're increasing the statistics and seeing change for these kids, I think is one of the most important things right now.
So this bus will serve underserved children and families. There's a food pantry on one side, there's a library on the other side, there are some basketball hoops. When this hits the streets of Oakland, what impact do you want this to have?
I want excitement.
Exactly.
I want to bring about excitement in the kids when it comes to reading. And when we launched a few days ago, I think we saw firsthand how this model can work, because they ran up to the bus, and I have little ones, so as a mom I was like, oh, they're gonna go straight for the basketball hoop, which is fine, but they went straight for the books, and they were so excited to receive these tangible items. And sometimes it's really just about getting the resources in the hands of the kids. And so for me, I'm really excited about that. And then this bus is going to give us the opportunity to provide over 500,000 pounds of produce a year into the community. So I'm very excited.
There are some warriors here, Phil Mickelson, Peyton Manning, here to play. How important do you think it is that leaders of this generation, that athletes, that celebrities, reinvest in their community and think about that?
It's extremely important, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. I think that's the thing I'm kind of noticing around a lot of the major sports and major athletes, using your social channels to talk about things that are important to you, leveraging your platform and your network and your time to do meaningful work. And you see a lot more athletes now doing it while they're playing and trying to find a way to set up a lifelong journey of service. That means a lot. So the names that you said that are here, taking time out of their busy schedules to support an event like this, knowing that it's impacting lives here in the Bay Area, and hopefully that inspires more work to be done, and we know work needs to be done across the country. So it's amazing to see the social responsibility kind of permeate through all the different sports and major athletes that are making it a priority.
I just finished watching The Last Dance, and I was struck by the contrast, because Michael Jordan says, I never thought of myself as an activist, I thought of myself as a basketball player. How do you think of yourself? Do you think of yourself as an activist, as a basketball player, both?
I mean, I try to fulfill every title, I think, in that respect, and do it knowing that I have an amazing team around me that can unlock another level of impact, with how I use my voice, how we show up in the community, what we spread awareness about. And so that line is, I'm glad I'm playing in this era, because it's not the exception anymore. It's kind of expected that you are aware, socially conscious about what you can do to change lives. So, like I said, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but I think it's encouraged and it's well received.
Ayesha, you actually opened a business in the pandemic,
Yes.
and you talk a lot about supporting women. You support women entrepreneurs through that business. The data shows that women are losing ground in the pandemic at work and at home. Melinda Gates told me that women she thinks are in crisis. How worried are you about that, about women in particular?
Yeah, I understand what she's saying, but for me, I mean, we've seen it through the ages. Women are resilient and strong and powerful, and I know that we're always going to come out on top. But I think the important thing is always getting back to that fundamental of rallying around your people and the community of women. And for me, if I could do a little bit by featuring these small Black-owned businesses in my store, I mean, that's one small step in the right direction. And so I think if a lot of us can rally around that and keep it going, we'll be just fine.
Steph, you caused a bit of a stir this week talking to Twitter, saying you're getting into crypto and you wanted some help. And some people think that crypto could actually open up economic opportunity for underserved communities. I'm curious, what excites you about crypto? What do you think the potential is there?
I think we're obviously at the beginning stage. I know it's been around for a while, but from a mass awareness perspective, understanding how this is going to be a part of the next generation of how they think about financial opportunity, access to that. And right now it's just about education, I think, in terms of what it actually is, how it can be leveraged in the proper ways. I'm curious about it. I'm involved in it and understand. There's a big community right now that is excited about what this will mean for democratizing the financial institutions and how we do things. So it's about educating the next generation that this is going to be around. This is going to be something that you can participate in, and hopefully we can create that access and opportunity through it, and do it in a fun way too, because it is kind of overwhelming when you think about a lot of the questions that people have about what is it actually doing.
Tom Brady told you not to laser eyes, and you changed your avatar to a bored ape. What's up with that?
You got to have fun with it. That's the thing for me that makes sense. I saw when we both signed up with FTX, and there was a little dip in the Ethereum price after he launched. It's very similar to when I did, but it's a volatile kind of market right now. But the long-term prospects are very positive, and to the biggest thing about what Tom is doing, what I'm trying to do with that partnership is specifically is create a socially conscious platform within crypto. And the founder of FTX, Sam, he's very committed to that, setting a standard for what it means to be socially responsible within the successes of crypto, and I can get behind that as well.
But
You've
I'm still
also
trying
got-
to figure out what a CHAM is.
That's true. We'll download you on that.
and you also have your penny jar capital, where I know you're investing in things like upskilling workers and pay equity, which is important to you as parents of daughters. Like, where are we going to see you put your money to work there? What trends are you excited about?
It's all about basically everything that we do. Hopefully there's a form of inspiration, a form of impact, and a form of leveling the playing field across the board. So you mentioned the pay equity gap, and a company Syndio, which is a huge has huge momentum in terms of creating a template for what it means to pay people what they're worth, pay women what they're worth, decrease that pay gap. And we're a mission aligned, but it's an amazing business as well, and that's what Penny Jar is about: identifying those companies that have huge opportunity, huge scale, great leaders, but are having a huge impact as well. So excited about it all, and it seems like there's a lot going on, but it's all tied into kind of changing the narrative for us.
Awesome. Well, I don't want to make any assumptions, but who's got the better golf game here?
He does. He's out on the course. I think if I had a little practice, maybe I could.
She's got some hidden talents in there.
Yeah.
And get a golf. She's in the long drive competition, so we'll see what happens.
All right.
on
I'm
that.
waiting for the Charles Barkley rematch so we can watch that all over again. Not to rub it in.
I know Phil brought a Wanamaker. I think he's more proud of beating me and Peyton than he is of winning the PGA Championship, but we'll see.